So look, brand new pair of steps here, deck steps for an existing Kong Armor lifetime deck armor system owner, right? Check this out. I'm going to show you what I do. It's a little bit different than what you guys get around here in Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. Keep in mind, my crews, we're deck restoration painters, deck rescue painters. We're not deck builders. So everything that we do as far as rebuilding something, building a pair of deck steps, this type of stuff, it's custom, number one. Number two, it's designed for longevity protection, not to rot, not to decay, right? Because we have that mindset, right? So look how beautiful, all custom through here. Now here's what I want to show you. I was tasked with this deck here. We're talking about dog lovers here. They love their little puppies, and they have pads here that sit on top of their steps that warm the snow off of the steps for their dogs to go up. And it's a very specific system that they have, and it's 13 pads. And so I was tasked with, hey, we need a new pair of steps. They're falling apart, but it has to be exactly 13 steps. So what we did was we did 12 actual deck steps, and then just a landing pad here. Okay, so this is just a little generic landing pad here where we took 4 posts, we stuck them in the ground and concreted them, and then we landed these steps on this pad. The old steps, look, the old steps landed on absolutely nothing, just the grass, right? So improvement, right? Solid pad, it's never going anywhere, it's concreted into the ground. Okay, now customer here, a little bit older. Okay, she has some mobility issues. She gets around, but she has some mobility issues. And what was important to her was that this was as narrow as it was before. Okay, so I was confined to making them this narrow. Okay, strong, and then there needed to be a safety mechanism where she could grab on the inside so she could pull herself up. Okay, or if she fell down, she could reach up from the underside and grab and pull herself up. And so I brought in a rail, inside railing that you would see like inside of an apartment or something like that, or inside of a nice home. But we got some really nice oak, and we're going to put the Kong Armor coating system on top of it, and it'll protect this very well. And she'll have access to this all bolted in here to where this is never going anywhere. Okay, now construction, here's where the preservation and stuff comes in. So number one, old steps, 2 stringers, stringer here, stringer here. New steps, 3 stringers. Okay, so I actually brought in 3 stringers. Why did I do that? They're dog lovers, so they're concerned about their little puppies. They got little tiny puppies walking up and falling out the backside. They told me, if you bring in a 3rd stringer and that back step isn't so open, that alleviates a lot of our concern. Sure, boom, absolutely. One, it makes these steps rock solid. It answers their question, right? And it just solves everything. And nobody probably would have built this with 3, but I did. I built it with 3 for them, right? So we got a really solid pair of steps now. Now, let's move on. Why will these last better than the other ones that were here? The other ones, when we looked at them, they had all their backing was closed off, so there was absolutely no airflow whatsoever. I've answered that question here today. We've opened all that up to where water is no longer going to pile there in the steps and get to the fasteners, corrode the fasteners, and cause rot. What else did I answer? Well, look, we came in with air dried, pressure treated. Okay, so this is all pressure treated, but it's already air dried. It's ready to coat. Also, here's the big deal. Check this out. The very best 316 grade stainless steel molybdenum additive inside the fastener, rust resistant screws. Why is that a big deal? Well, look, if we can stop the rust in the fasteners, we can stop the board rot. That's exactly what destroyed this last pair of steps, was the fastener starting to rust down inside the stringer. Okay, the wood reacting with that rust and causing rot. Well, when we bring in 316 marine grade, the most rust resistant deck fastener on the planet, right, without going to non-ferrous, that still gives you strength and stability, right, we arrest all that rot and decay, what we call the rust to rot cycle. It's all arrested. And this just turned out absurdly gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful. Soon, here in a few days, it's going to match her existing Kong Armor Lifetime Deck Armor system. We're going to come in here when this dries up. It won't stop raining, right? But as soon as this dries up, we're going to coat this out for them, right? And this will get 3 or 4 really big heavy coats of the Kong Armor Lifetime Deck Armor system with the intent to protect. So we'll come in and we'll press into these nail and screw holes, okay, with the intent to put physical barrier, high build, thick build, ultra tough coating over top of all of them, right? Create that water lock. So brought the customer out here just a few minutes ago. Let her try the steps out. It's a huge improvement to the quality of her life. She can actually go up and down the steps now and feel safe and feel secure, right? So instead of just having some random handyman or some dude come here and run up to the hardware store and buy a set of pre-made steps and hook them up and drop them there in the grass, because they had the relationship with Kong Armor, the Lifetime Deck Armor system, and the deck rescue painters, we were able to come in and do something a lot better for them here, right? And that's the benefit of the relationship. That's the benefit of the lifetime, what we call deck armor for life, right? Beautiful. Can't wait to show you guys these when they're actually coated, when they got that mallard duck on them, and they're beautiful and they match, right? But I'm super, super proud of these steps. And I'm super, super proud that our service here actually brought an improvement to our customers' lives. And anytime as a contractor, you can achieve that for somebody. That's what makes you feel good as a contractor. When what you do brings value and improves your customers' lives, there's no better feeling, there's no better reward, right? The money and all that, that's always there. That's not going anywhere, right? But that feeling, you can't put monetary value on it. Listen, if you want to learn more about Kong Armor, the deck rescue painters, the deck restoration painters here in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, our Lifetime Deck Armor systems, all that stuff, you can just visit kongarmor.com. Check us out, see what we do here in the tri-state. We basically have lifetime relationships, lifetime coating systems, lifetime relationships with our owners, where we just stay with them for life and help them, right? Check it out. I'll see you guys soon.